The greatest illusion in human history isn't magic. It isn't religion. It isn't even politics. It's money. Not the coins you carry or the numbers glowing on a screen, but the idea that those things have meaning beyond our shared belief in them. Money is a trick of perception, a collective hallucination that governs empires, defines lives, and shapes destinies. It's the pulse of civilization, invisible, relentless, and above all, artificial. If you've ever stared at your paycheck and felt it vanish in bills, if you've ever wondered how a world so full of wealth still leaves so many in debt, then you've touched the edge of the truth. Because the world's financial system is not what it seems. It never was. And the deeper you look, the less real it becomes. We live in an age of apparent stability. The screens shine, the graphs climb, the politicians smile, cities stretch skyward, industries hum, and the economy, whatever that word truly means, seems to expand forever. But stability is a story we tell ourselves, a mask that hides the tremor underneath. Behind the numbers and the speeches, everything rests on one fragile assumption: that money has meaning, that it represents something solid, something true. But it doesn't. It represents faith. Every transaction, every investment, every salary, every loan, all of it is built on an unspoken agreement that these numbers have power. It is the most successful illusion ever conceived. Value conjured from nothing, sustained by belief, traded by those who dare not question it. Because once you ask what money is, the entire edifice begins to shake. The truth is unsettling. The money in your hand is not wealth, it's debt. Every bill, every coin, every digital entry exists because someone, somewhere, owes. Our entire financial world is a web of promises that can never all be kept. And that's what makes it work. The constant motion, the endless borrowing, the recycling of trust. Money is not the measure of what we have. It is the shadow of what we owe. It is a reflection of obligation masquerading as prosperity. The moment that cycle stops, the illusion cracks. It wasn't always like this. There was a time when value was tangible, gold in vaults, silver in hands, goods exchanged for goods. But humans are storytellers, and somewhere along the way, the story became more powerful than the thing itself. Paper replaced metal, credit replaced paper, faith replaced both. In 1971, when the United States unlinked the dollar from gold, the world crossed a line it can never uncross. Money stopped being a claim on something real and became a claim on belief itself. It became a promise written on air, backed not by resources, but by confidence. Governments declared, "This is worth something," and the world obeyed. The dollar no longer stood for gold. It stood for authority, for faith, for the illusion that the game could go on forever. That moment was not an accident. It was a turning point. The day economics became psychology. From then on, money could be created without limit, as long as people continued to trust the issuers. Debt became the new gold, and growth became the new religion. Every new dollar, every loan, every bond, all born from nothing but expectation. The economy no longer produced wealth. It produced belief. And belief, once weaponized, can build anything or destroy everything. This is not capitalism in the classical sense. It is something new, a system built on perpetual credit and managed perception. Creditism. It rewards dependency, not creation. It worships expansion, not balance. It cannot rest because rest means collapse. Its engines are debt and desire. One keeps you chasing, the other keeps you blind. Money, debt, and consumption form the holy trinity of this modern faith. You work to pay debt. You borrow to consume. You consume to maintain growth. And growth must never end, even when it consumes the very soil beneath it. We are taught to call this progress. But progress toward what? Toward more screens, more numbers, more digital promises? The system we inhabit is not designed for stability. It's designed for motion. As long as you keep running, it stays alive. The moment you stop, it starves. And so the machine keeps spinning. a perpetual motion device powered by the human mind. History has seen this before, though never on such a scale. Rome diluted its silver until its coins turned worthless. France printed paper until it ignited revolution. Germany inflated its mark until a loaf of bread cost a wheelbarrow of notes. Every age believes it has mastered the illusion, that its sophistication will protect it from collapse. Every age is wrong. The difference this time is that the illusion has gone global. No empire owns it, no vault holds it. The entire planet is now bound to the same invisible network, a digital architecture of faith, a synchronized illusion that stretches from Wall Street to Shanghai. Debt is the mechanism of control. It keeps the gears turning, the citizens obedient, the nations aligned. You are not meant to escape it. You are meant to need it. Debt ensures you keep moving, that you keep producing, consuming, believing. It ensures that you trade your time, your creativity, your freedom for numbers that lose value every year. Inflation is not a bug. It's the feature that keeps you running. It is the silent tax that steals quietly, ensuring that you must always return to the machine. Governments call it growth. Economists call it stability. But it is dependency, engineered and refined over generations. And through it all, the illusion is protected by its priests. The central banks, the economists, the financial media, the politicians who promise prosperity while mortgaging the future. They speak in riddles of policy and stimulus, of interest rates and markets, as if these abstract levers are divine instruments, not human manipulations. They need the illusion to feel too complex to question. Complexity is camouflage, because once you understand that the system is sustained by faith, you begin to see how easily it can be shaped or broken by those who control the narrative. Most people never question it. They can't afford to. The system rewards conformity and punishes curiosity. Work hard, earn, save, invest. The mantra repeats. But the ladder they climb leads nowhere. The higher they go, the deeper the illusion burrows into their mind. We measure our worth in digits, our freedom in purchasing power, our time in hourly rates. Yet nothing in nature works this way. Trees do not charge interest. Oceans do not accumulate debt. The illusion is uniquely human and uniquely dangerous. The genius of the system is that it doesn't demand obedience by force. It seduces it. It replaces chains with ambition, prisons with mortgages, control with convenience. You aren't trapped, you're participating. You aren't ruled, you're free. You spend your life running after a dream designed to keep you moving. And you call it choice. But then the illusion evolved. The digital revolution turned money into light. Once it was gold, then it was paper, then it was code. Today it's data, invisible, instantaneous, global. A few keystrokes can summon or erase fortunes. The abstraction is complete. And in that abstraction lies immense control, because when money becomes data, it can be monitored, modified, even switched off. Not by criminals, but by systems. Not by theft, but by design. Every transaction leaves a footprint. Every choice feeds the machine. Privacy becomes a relic. Freedom becomes conditional. Centralized digital currencies promise convenience, but deliver obedience. They offer efficiency while encoding control. A single command can freeze assets, deny access, erase identity. In the old world, you needed force to control people. In the new world, you only need permission. The illusion has become perfect. Not because it hides the truth, but because it makes the truth irrelevant. At the top, the architects of the illusion move the levers. Central banks create money with a few clicks. Investment firms bet on debt like it's a game. Politicians borrow from the future to buy peace in the present. The wealthy don't fear inflation, they profit from it. They understand that the illusion's greatest gift is volatility, because volatility transfers wealth upward. When things crash, those who know the rules buy what others are forced to sell. And so the illusion grows stronger with every crisis. This isn't conspiracy, it's structure. Power doesn't need to hide when distraction works better. The system thrives not on secrecy, but on spectacle. Markets rise, fall, recover, like seasons, predictable enough to numb the mind. Each cycle of boom and bust is another chapter in the same story: faith tested, fear restored, belief renewed. The illusion doesn't collapse when it fails. It resets. And each reset deepens the dependency. The economy must grow. Always. That is its only commandment. Growth justifies all: debt, destruction, despair. But infinite growth on a finite planet is insanity. Still, we bow before it. We burn forests, flood oceans, drain souls, all in service of the rising line. The illusion feeds on extraction, not just of resources, but of human energy, attention, and hope. Every advertisement, every stock ticker, every policy speech whispers the same mantra: keep moving, keep spending, keep believing. But belief has a cost. People are beginning to feel it, in the exhaustion that seeps beneath prosperity, in the quiet panic behind digital smiles. The system promises freedom, but delivers fatigue, promises wealth, but delivers anxiety, promises progress, but delivers dependence. Something in the human spirit knows this isn't sustainable. That instinct, the faint, flickering awareness that the game is rigged, is the beginning of awakening. New forms of value are emerging, like sparks in the dark. Decentralized currencies, local economies, barter networks, small rebellions against the illusion. Each carries the same hope: to reclaim autonomy from the machinery of debt. But the illusion adapts quickly. It absorbs resistance, rebrands it, sells it back. Cryptocurrency becomes commodity. Innovation becomes speculation. Even rebellion becomes another market to trade. The system feeds on everything, even its own critique. And yet, awareness spreads. The veil is thinning. You can sense it in the way people talk about meaning, about purpose, about wanting something real. They no longer want to own as much as they want to belong. They no longer chase luxury, they chase authenticity. Beneath the glittering surface, a quiet revolution of consciousness is forming. One that questions not the price of things, but their worth. The greatest illusion in history won't end in fire or war. It will end in silence, when belief fades. When people stop seeing money as salvation and start seeing it as fiction. Empires fall not when they're defeated, but when they're no longer believed in. When the citizens look at their rulers and see actors reading scripts. When the currency of trust runs out. That's when illusions die. And maybe that's what's coming. You can feel it, the tremor beneath the noise. The anxiety of a system stretched too thin, running on borrowed time, borrowed energy, borrowed faith. Every new crisis demands more belief to survive. But faith, once lost, doesn't return easily. The illusion can bend reality only so far before reality bends back. When that moment comes, when the spell finally breaks, what happens next will depend on what we choose to believe in. Maybe the world fractures into smaller systems of meaning. Maybe people rediscover value in community, in craftsmanship, in time. Maybe they remember that true wealth isn't what you accumulate, but what you create. Or maybe the illusion will evolve again, more digital, more personal, more complete, until it becomes indistinguishable from reality itself. But there's still a window, a chance to see through it, to remember that money is not the measure of your worth, that the numbers rising and falling on a screen are not the rhythm of your life. The rhythm is older, deeper, human. It's the rhythm of hands that build, of voices that sing, of hearts that choose to give rather than trade. The illusion still runs, humming quietly in the background of your life, disguised as order, as progress, as peace. But every illusion depends on belief, and belief can change. When enough people stop believing, the spell shatters. And what remains, when all the numbers vanish, will be what was real all along. Time, work, love, creation, the unquantifiable human spirit. The rest was theater. And now, the curtain trembles. The greatest financial illusion in history. And it's still going, for now.